dress, okay? It's so cute. It's so very, very cute. Very, very cute. It's late at night. I could barely get myself around to hanging up my laundry. Story time. Okay, so I like working with many different little companies and reviewing products, which I have done in the past on my hair channel. But I don't know, I'm feeling like I've always been super selective, but I think I'm gonna be even more selective just going forward. Just because most of the products I've reviewed have been really cool. But there's just been a couple weird things where here I spent hours. It might not be a video that got a ton of views, but I spent hours making a video a couple weeks ago. And apparently, I guess whatever it was, like, I didn't get paid to make the video. I just got sent a free item. So I feel like I'm just making these videos just because I feel like occasionally this is a cool and interesting product. But I just think now I'm going to be even a little bit more strict about what I review. And besides, my channel's never been like the whole premise of my channel. It's not like I'm here to just review products for people to buy. So for me, that just makes it easier, a lot easier. But I have to get up really early in the morning. But I waited till midnight to start hanging the laundry. That's so mean. This is so mean. I know. It's just been an interesting week, you see. Hi! So I love doing cleaning videos. They're just one of my, I kept saying I was going to start my painting. I was going to start my painting up again. But I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I was being a procrastinator. A procrastinator. Let's see. So on my other channel, I talk a lot about hair, but I also like share fashion and whatnot. A little bit of everything, really. I like when I hang the clothing, I like to do it evenly so everything gets nice and distributed. Wait, wise. So we don't want one side to be too top heavy. I hope I did not get a washcloth in. Like, this is the bane of my existence. Like, when it comes to washing clothes, I'm always trying to make sure, because I use washcloths to clean the house. Because I'm like, I don't want to spend, like, for years I haven't spent money on paper towels. Occasionally I'll buy them, but I just buy washcloths to clean the house with. So I always try to sort them out so that when I'm hanging up my laundry or washing my laundry, washcloths don't get in with the regular clothes because they just make everything kind of too linty. That's why I don't like it. And not lint like lint, as in no, just like way too lint. As in too linty. That's it. So some people, they love to like respond to all sorts of comments, leave kind of comments on their videos. But I personally just, this is what I'm thinking. I might just say in the comments, hey, I'm not going to respond to you if you just don't like how I do something completely. Because I just, like, look, I love what I wear and I think it all goes together. That's it. Like, today somebody was like, oh, this doesn't go with that. Oh, but it's still cute. And I'm like, honestly, that's just your opinion. Because I like what I wear and I select what I wear. And I dress how I like. Because my channel is all about, like my other one, well, this channel too a little bit is like just what I wear and things I like to do. So I'm not a trendy channel. Like, I don't post the trends. Although I find a lot of cute outfits and things that, like, vintage modern. I don't aspire to be like, I don't aspire to be like what everybody else is doing. I have just always aspired to be how I want to be. Like, that's just how I live my life now. Nice and even. Shake it out a bit. Lately, I'm following birds around. So I keep getting closer and closer to birds. I was gonna film a Phoebe today. I don't know why I didn't take out my phone and film it. But I was like, I just want to get as close as I can to birdies and film them or the sky. I did make a really amazing video of the sky yesterday afternoon. Somebody asked me, "Oh, where was this video of the sky from?" And I'm like, Southern California, where I live. Like, maybe they thought it was Northern California. I don't know. Maybe they thought I was making a video from somewhere in Brazil. I can't say for sure what they thought. But anyway, who knows? I was also gonna vacuum tonight, but I'm just like, I have been a busy bee this week. I just am like trying to, because you know, I love to clean the house. It's my number one hobby. And my mom's like, why don't you just paint? Picasso didn't clean his house. And I'm like, exactly. I don't want to be like, I like painting. I really do. I do. I don't have good excuses for not doing it more. I need to do it every day. But, you know, alas, just excuses. I have lots of excuses. Okay, let me tell you a story about how I'm scared of mice. I'm not scared of bugs or spiders, but mice, oh no. So yesterday I got home, and thankfully the mouse is outside, I believe. It better be. I do not want the mouse in my house because I don't like mice and they scare me. So I came home and I noticed that the doormat was kind of raised. I'm like, that's weird because I know sometimes, because I live in an apartment complex and they do landscaping like on Thursday. So I thought, well, maybe they moved the doormat because they were blowing leaves or something. And Southern California does get really hot, and we've had some cold weather. Like, we actually had rains and snow recently. Well, snow up in the mountains, but rain down here. So it's finally starting to get hot again. Well, probably really hot. It was like 87 degrees today. People were not happy campers with that. I love 87 degrees, and I wore a sweater outside in 87-degree weather. Even though, like, sometimes I wear the same thing in 50-degree weather. I just weather acclimate, to be honest with you. But yeah, I do like really warm weather. And the cool thing about it being really warm outside, like, and wearing long sleeves is, I mean, you get some sun exposure, but it minimizes your sun exposure. That's my whole thought behind it. I'm like, well, you know, that's fine. But anyway, that's not a here nor there. But I came home and I lifted the mat, and there was a little mouse underneath it, and I got so scared. I wanted to scream, and I did. I kind of shrieked a little bit, but then I was like, no, no, I don't want to scream. So I spent 15 minutes before I went in the house yesterday because I was so afraid, and I'm still afraid that the mouse could have climbed up this little dryer vent that's outside. And my sister assured me, oh no, it couldn't. It couldn't climb up that. And I'm like, I think it could because there's lint that comes out of it. Because I don't know what it is about these apartments, but the way they were designed it's wacky noodle. Because you know, it's like there's always lint that's coming out of that dryer vent, and I have to go outside and scoop it up off. I mean, I don't know. It's why it was designed like that. What the rationale was, who knows? But I'm like, if lint can get out, a little mouse might be able to get in, and I got really scared, like super scared. And my sister was like, "Oh no, 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 it's fine, Julia. There's like a little, you know, there's this griddle thing that'll." I think she means vent, like a little vent that will keep them from getting in. Yeah. So anyway. Anyway. Such an interesting. I'm pretty sure the mouse went away, but I was super scared because I do not like mice, and I was not, and I know that they're part of the world, but that's okay. I really don't want to see them, and it just also brought up this other memory of rodents. I know people love rodents, okay, and some people have pets that are rodents. If you want to have a pet that's a rodent, you do it. I'm not gonna have a pet mouse or a pet rat. I'm just not gonna do it. You can't make me. Okay? It's not gonna happen. I almost was thinking about wanting to get a cat again after seeing that mouse last night. It scared me. Anyway, I didn't. I'm not getting a cat because right now I'm pet free. But because I don't know. I will have a cat again one day when I have a house, like a big house, because yeah, I feel like it's not fair to a cat to be cooped up in a little apartment, but that's just my opinion. Same with dogs. I feel like you just need a lot of space for an animal. That's just my take. So, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. But it just brought back this memory from when I was in high school. For some reason, it took them like a year to renovate our campus. I don't know why it was taking them so long. In fact, there ended up being mold at our high school later on because it was taking them forever to like finish building everything. And it started raining and snowing. And our gymnasium was all torn up. It was like torn up. And I just remember this day when I was a freshman in high school. Like there were holes in the walls and like some linoleum. Oh, there's lots of fun stories actually about this. Like one time we were in PE class in the gymnasium and we all sat against a wall and they were doing so much construction. This is the most hilarious thing. We all sat against the wall and we got paint on ourselves because apparently they had painted this wall, but they like didn't think any students would be sitting there, but our PE teacher's like, oh, sit here against this wall before we go into the gymnasium. And we all got paint on us. And then we were like, some of the kids were like freaking out. Well, I was lucky. I just got it like in this part of my hair. The other girls got it on their clothes and they're like, do you guys want to go home? So I just went into the bathroom and I rinsed off my hair. And then it started like, you know how my hair kind of curls up on the ends like this? It just started getting like curly. And the girls were like, I don't have curly hair, I have wavy hair, but it just was waving up. They're like, oh, that's so amazing that your hair gets all wavy from being wet. And there's something about the paint, it just made my hair wavy. Well, that was one time with the construction going on when I was in high school. Later on, there was mold in that building, the whole building actually, because they had didn't finish things. But another time we were in the gymnasium and there's like holes in the wall because they're still building things and they're putting in new flooring and this rat, okay, I can't make this up. This rat just comes out of nowhere, out of a hole or something. And it's not a pet rat, it's just a rat. It's a good old San Bernardino Mountains rat. And it just came out of nowhere. And these girls picked it up and they started petting it. It's like, oh my gosh. And they thought it was so cute, but I'd be so scared. But people love rodents, and no, not me. Maybe they're kind of cute in Ratatouille or something, but no, I don't like mice. I'm sorry, every time I think about a mouse, I just, no, they're not for me. Okay? But if you love a mouse, you should have a mouse. But I don't want a mouse. No. You can't make me adopt a mouse. I almost wanted to get a cat again last night because of that little mouse outside. And how silly is me? Because you know what? I also was the other day, not here, but a termite just fell out of the sky and landed on my shoulder. Scared me to death. I don't know. I guess because it's getting warm everywhere, all the things are coming out like termites and, ooh. You know, I know they say, everybody thinks, oh, Southern California is a city. Well, I live in a very, like, it is growing up, don't get me wrong, but we're surrounded by nature. 100 to the 20%, we're surrounded by nature. I see coyotes all the time, okay? Coyotes. I see, like, little mice outside. I see ground squirrels. Birds. We have so many birds. Like hundreds and hundreds of birds. But city birds are interesting because you can kind of get close to them and make birdie time videos. I'm birdie time because I love birds. I just love birds, I really do. But anyway, I'm scared of mice. I'm not making mousy time. Although squirrels are technically a rodent and I love squirrels. So maybe this is an oxymoron that I'm scared of a little mouse, but I follow little squirrels, urbanized squirrels, because mountain squirrels would never let you follow them around like that. And I follow squirrels around in the park. So I don't know. You know what? I think I know where my fear of mice comes from, actually. And it comes from another educational experience I had in 7th grade, and this predates high school. So, yes, mountain life was just always so interesting, fascinating, really. I remember in 7th grade, they had a taxidermist come in that had stuffed, I don't know, did he work for the U.S. Forest? Or I think it was a she, actually. Might have worked for the U.S. Forest Service or the museum. I don't remember exactly what capacity. All I know is there were all these stuffed, like, animals, like rodents and things. And they told us that we'd get extra credit if we pet them all. Taxiderm stuffed animals. Some of them were squirrels and then some of them were rats. And I went home and I told my mom, oh yes, we got extra credit today for petting stuffed taxiderm animals, and some of them were rats and mice. And my mom freaked out and she goes, that's disgusting. Because my mom's a germaphobe. Maybe this is where my fear of the mouse came from. Because of that event. That was the origin story of the fear of the mouse, I think. Because before that, I mean, I never loved mice. I never wanted to own a mice. I never had a pet hamster or anything, but I don't know. Here I am at midnight contemplating my fear of mice. Well, I think I'd rather have a cat. I'm just thinking about getting a cat again, but just not right now. Because I really would love having a cat. I miss Irina some days. I think about her. But I haven't had a cat again just because when you lose a pet, I don't know, it was just really hard the way that I lost her. And originally I only adopted her because she was abandoned, and I just haven't been able to want a pet again. But maybe one day I'll get a pet. A cat only. Cats. That's the only kind of pet I want. It's a cat. But not today. Because they need more space. They definitely do. And I just think, this is one of my things about dogs. I'm like, a lot of people have cute dogs, but like, they don't take their dogs on like real walks, or they don't have a big backyard for their dogs to play in. And they're forcing their dogs to become urbane. Like, there was a dog sitting in a car one day. Yes, it can be cute and everything, but there was literally a dog sitting in a car with this human, okay? And the dog started barking. And I don't think the humans realize that maybe the dog wants to do dog things. Do dogs want to go to Starbucks? I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you've lived your whole life as a dog, maybe you want to go to Starbucks. But this is the funny thing, like, okay, dogs versus cat owners, because, I don't own an animal right now. Honestly, my life has been so much easier not owning an animal. This is why I'm hesitant to own a cat, because, like, you can go on day trips. And I feel like if you own a cat, well, cats are okay for a couple days, but still, you kind of have to sometimes get somebody to check in on them. But yeah, I just feel like with dogs, you have to get a house sitter or take them to a puppy camp or something, so place, have a babysitter for them. I just feel like it's a lot of work. And then there's kitty cat litter, and then if you have a dog, you have to walk it all the time. Life's so much easier without a pet. It just has. And I like to clean, and it's just so much cleaner without a pet. And that might sound horrible, okay? But pets are a lot of work, and they're a lot of money. Because I remember when our pet like got sick one time, and we had to take it to the emergency vet. That stuff is expensive. So I don't know. I think pets are sweet and all, but yeah, I just don't think it's fair. Like, if you own a dog, like, shouldn't you have a big backyard? Like, where he can play, or at least take him on a real walk? Like, if you have a dog, I think you should be committed to walking your dog around the clock, like on real walks, a mile plus. Not like some people barely take their dog on a half block walk. And I just feel like your dog wants to go on a walk. Maybe I'm weird, okay? Maybe I just no, I'm not weird. This is fair to dogs. Dogs like to play and they like to do dog like things. I don't think all the dogs want to be humans. Like, yeah, they spend time with humans, but dogs have certain instincts. I don't think they always want to go to Starbucks and eat a pup cup. And I've just thought this for the long time. And then, okay, and this is the fun piece de resistance of this. Of Okay, so some people are actually allergic to dogs. You couldn't take your cat to like Stater Brothers. You couldn't take your cat to Stater Brothers or Food for Less, but people take the dogs, and then they're like, oh, what's a like? I need it for like emotional support reasons. But okay, I get it that dogs provide some emotional support, but I don't think that taking it grocery shopping is good for the dog, because there's a lot of noise in grocery stores, and I can always see that dogs look very PTSD driven. Like, they look nervous because they have to be there. And then some people are allergic to the dog. But the owner wants it to go shopping at the grocery store with it. And I'm not trying to be anti-dog. I have nothing. We had dogs growing up. I just don't think the dog wants to go shopping. But I could be wrong. Maybe some dogs love to go shopping, some of them do, but then some people are allergic. And it is a grocery store. And then I think, yeah, it's just not good hygiene. Like, because you take your dog to like places where there's prepared food, and I've seen dogs licking the cheese. Like, this, because people have no, like, they don't really observe what their dog's doing. I don't know. But it's not popular to say these things because people want to do whatever they want, and that's fine to some degree. But I think, yeah, you can take your dog to a lot of places. But I thought, okay, maybe I'm just the outlier. I thought it was really weird when in 2011 people started saying, "Oh, people are gonna be able to take their dogs to go out to eat at like out to eat places." To me, that just sounded so strange, because I do think at the end of the day, if it's not like, if you're truly like visually impaired, or you have like some sort of like injury where the dog performs like a certain task, like retrieves objects for you, like a really true task, I get it. But just taking the the dog everywhere. I just don't think it's fair to the dog because people are like, oh, it helps me with like my PTSD, but is it fair to the dog? Like, I just think, is that fair to the dog? But, I don't know. And then it's like all the people that own dogs, I feel like they wouldn't want a cat in public. Like, for some reason, it's okay for dogs to go everywhere, but people would be like, people would hate cats, and I don't understand because I think cats are wonderful, but I'm kind of a pro cat person. Dogs are cute and sweet, but I'm more pro cat. Anyway, because my parents, they will only ever have cats now, you know. Anyway, I don't know. This is just my story about animals. Life's easier without a pet. I'm just saying. It is actually. And you can read books and I love cats, they're very sweet, but I just don't want to clean up after a pet. That's it. Do you. Have fun. I'm kind of happy that I can go to Disneyland because we're planning a trip there soon with my sister and I. And back when I had a cat, I always had to worry about, oh, like to make sure it has enough food to eat and this and that. And I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I loved my cat, but it's so much easier to go places without worrying about a pet. I don't know. Maybe I must be the outlier here in this topic. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good night.